Hey everybody! I've been getting a lot of questions to make tutorials on whatnot, so I'm gonna do my first one on armor. That's been the biggest question, it seems like, that people have been wanting me to do. But first off, before I get anywhere else, Robocop was not made out of Worbla, it was just EVA foam. You can see on the inside the diamond pattern that I have. This was just good old EVA foam. And I'll be doing a tutorial on EVA foam later, so you can learn how to shape it and whatnot, all that good stuff. So anyways, today I'm going to teach you on how to do Worbla. It's going to be really awesome and cool. It's my choice of doing every type of armor now. It's the only thing I want to do and whatnot. So basically, let's get started. To save time, I already traced out a simple pattern, whatnot, on craft foam. This is going to be your base, so just cut that out, yada yada. You'll find out that in some other tutorials, they want you to sandwich the Worbla. I personally do not sandwich it just because I don't think it's necessary, especially since one layer of Worbla is going to do you just fine. The second one, sure, it's going to make it tough and whatnot, but so is the one layer. And plus, since it is so expensive, I mean, you're using up twice as much as Worbla as you would need to. So, there we go, I got that cut out. So now you're just going to take your good old Worbla and put it down just on any spot of the Worbla. Make sure that you have some room. And then basically, when you trace it, just trace it right along the craft foam, as you would with probably anything else. But when you cut it, you're going to want to make sure that you give yourself some room. You don't need a ton, like an inch or something like that. But yeah, so basically once you trace that out, you cut it a little bit bigger than the outline that you traced it. There we go. And another thing, when you're cutting this out, you want to make sure that you save all of your scraps. It's very reusable. I'll even show you an example of something that I did with only scraps, which is really awesome. So basically, you have craft foam and then your Worbla. You can tell that it's bigger than that because you're going to fold it over. You'll see what I mean. So now it's the heat gun time. Very hot, so make sure that you don't touch this. I've burned myself plenty of times, so please make sure to not touch this part once it's turned on. And then here we go. It's going to take a little bit just because I haven't turned it on yet. This is the first time. But once you keep on turning it on and off and whatnot, the heat gun will stay hotter quicker. Let's see what else while I'm talking. When working with Worbla, you'll see it actually change color. That's when you know that it's getting hot and it's ready to use and bend. So, just make sure that you get the whole thing hot. There we go, almost done. And done. See, it's very flimsy now. Now, just lay down the Worbla, put your craft foam on top of it, flip it over, heat up the front side again. Oh, and another thing. When working with Worbla, you want to make sure that you have the smooth side facing up or the outside, because that's going to be the more finished side. So now once you heat that up, see, just bend it over like that. See, that's the outside. So just bend it over just like that. It's very simple. And you're just going to want to do that throughout the whole piece. And see, of course, even though you use the smooth side on the outside, of course you'll still have to prime it like with anything else. Just because even though you do use the smooth side, when it stretches, it does get gritty. And of course, you don't want that. So, just keep on folding it over, just like that. So now, it's completely folded over, whatnot. So I'm going to heat it up again. And then bend it. And then you see these two sides that have been covered up with Worbla as well. This is the cool thing. You don't even need hot glue. Now, this isn't anything particular. I just cut out a random design just because, and I did have a lot of craft foam left, like any big pieces. So see, just like that, while it was hot, you can mold the two ends together, and it closes up the seam by itself. And then, there you go. It's perfectly good. While it's still cooling down, it's still going to be moldable somewhat. So until it cools down all the way, it's still going to move some. But once it cools down all the way, it's going to be hard as a rock. I used it with my Zam stuff, and I pounded that sucker down on tile, and it was not moving at all. But, yeah, that's basically it. I don't think that you need to use the sandwich method just because, especially if you're not going to be seeing the inside, it's not really necessary, especially since you will have to be using twice as much of Worbla as you need to, and especially since this stuff is $80 for a jumbo sheet, you know, but if you use it good, correctly, for example, the one that I'm working on now, I got 2 shoes, 2 shins, 2 thighs, 2 arms, 2 biceps, 2 elbows, and I even started on a belt piece with it. And then, with all the scraps that I did, this is why you want to keep your scraps. It's very, you can actually use all of your scraps. And this is a little something I've been working on. I did this completely out of scraps. See, this could be a little chest plate, like that. This was done 100% out of scraps, which is very awesome. See, like, you can just blend it, shape it. In part 2, I'll be showing you how to do 3-dimensional stuff like this, as well as spackling and priming it for paint, all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!